Good afternoon, potato chips. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the shock, and as promised, I'm going to do a Ganzo video, as you've seen by the title, and I'm doing it on this Ganzo. Now, this really is a blast from the past. As I was saying yesterday in the video, when I first started, my budget was very small, but not only that's probably not the truth. It was small because I'd never really invested a lot of money in buying multiple knives. I had knives that I used. When they were done, I got another one. Does that make more sense? So the thought of paying more than 20 or £30 for a little pocket knife was still very new in my head. Although I did start off with, I bought a Delica, which was about £60 when I first started the channel. I had lots of Ganzos and other knives, but I bought that to start the channel. So long story short, if you want to go back, you can go back, but you don't need to. Here is the Ganzo. It's the, was it the G729? That was its original. It might have changed now. On AliExpress right now, this is £19. So $23, $24 delivered to your door. It can take up to 8 weeks, sometimes even longer, but usually about 6 weeks for me here in the UK. I believe there's stores in America where you can buy Ganzos. He pre-buys them and then you buy them off him. If anybody knows them, would they put them down below and I'll pin your comment so that my US viewers can get to know where to buy them other than AliExpress. But AliExpress are usually cheaper. Yes, you have to wait, but you're not shelling out a lot of money on a fancy knife. Just pay it and wait. That's all I do. I just pay it, forget about it. It comes when it comes. But this as a buy for a knife, this knife is 5 years old, right? No, it doesn't look battered and bruised. I don't batter and bruise any knife. I've so many knives. If I carry a knife 2 days in a row, that's a feat. So yes, it has been used. It's not been over abused at all, but it's been used. And off and on, all over that 5 year period, I go back to this because this is a super knife. Yes, it looks like a PM2. Let's not make any bones on that. The difference is this is an axis lock. There's the difference. This has a smaller handle and a more comfortable handle than the PM2, in my opinion. The blade to handle ratio is better, in my opinion, because the handle's smaller than this. Not a huge lot, but I think you find when you look at that, it looks much better than a PM2, in my opinion. G10, 440C, which is absolutely fine and takes a screaming edge. Ganzos usually come with a screaming edge. This has a screaming edge on it. Will perform equally as good as a PM2 any day of the week. Not a problem. And I mean that. It's heat treated enough. I couldn't even tell you if it's 440C. It might be 8CR13, but it's good enough for a budget knife that you want to use for doing heavier stuff. This is 5 years. There's not a wobble in it whatsoever. Tiniest wee wobble because it's a axis lock. You'll get that sometimes, a wee one jerk movement. But other than that, it's absolutely, I'm putting so much pressure on that. It's absolutely solid. The axis lock is just phenomenal. It's just every bit as good, in my opinion, if not better, than the compression lock on a PM2. It works every bit as good. You can use all the different methods for deployment. It's just a stunning little knife. Let's take you a walk around. It's very simple. It's got just standoffs in the back, bog stand. Well, they're not bog stand. They're actually pillared. They're actually very nice the way they've done it. There's nothing cheap about this. Good heavy steel liners, which on this are not milled out, which is nothing unusual. This is probably about a 4 ounce knife, which is absolutely fine. You have a place for a lanyard hole at the back. You can switch the pocket clip front or back, left or right. The centering is maybe just a little bit to the right, but I could probably adjust that if I wanted to. It's maybe moved. It's 5 year old and I've never adjusted it. I have taken this apart and put it back together again in the early days, but a super knife. And like for that price, so let's just say dollars and pounds, say for ease sake, £20, $20. Let's just say that. It's somewhere around that length because this is an older model they've brought back. It's been discontinued for a few years now. And it's the one knife that I've been asked more and more on my channel, where can I get one? This knife here. And for every good reason. I recommend this as much now as I did in the first year of my YouTube channel. It's just super, a really super and fidgety, all the things that you want on a knife, but yet you're paying 20 quid, $20. Do you know what I mean? So you can't beat that. Now, the pocket clips, sorry I didn't show you that. Pocket clips, absolutely fine. It's not deep carry. I think the newer ones are now mostly deep carry. But Ganzo on AliExpress seem to be making a bit of a comeback again. There's plenty of knives and designs, the newer knives. This one actually comes with one bronze and one plastic washer. And when it comes, now, I believe the newer ones are all ball bearings, if I'm not wrong. But this one, if it comes and it's not free flowing, don't worry, just use it. Flick it and use it, and it becomes glassy smooth in the end. It takes a while sometimes, but I believe the more modern ones come with a better. I don't know whether they've changed the modern ones changed the ball bearings or they've gone to complete brass washers or copper washers, but it is a super knife, a great work knife. Now let me give you some comparisons. Here is a Para 3. This is a proper Spyderco Para 3. Now, look at that. Can you see the difference in the handle? It's definitely not this Ganzo 729 is not as long as a Para 2. And for me, this is my favourite knife in the world for using for work. I love this little knife. This is my just dream knife. Perfect size. The Para 2, one, I never liked the ergonomics on it. I love the ergonomics on this. And it's the G10 version, which I wasn't keen on the plastic version. Nothing wrong with it, just wasn't for me. But you can see that the handle to blade ratio makes that top one looks much better than a Para 2. And there's not that much difference. And it's something Spyder could have rectified a long time. In hand, it is properly chamfered all the way around. And you don't get the hot spots, especially in the full grip. If you're pushing through cuts, you don't get the hot spots that you do with a modern Para 2. So I absolutely love it. Now, this was my knife of the year. I'm going to put that down there, budget knife of the year. This is about £30, $35. So it's a little bit more expensive. It's D2 steel. This is 440C. This is a slicing machine. Do I stand by it as my knife of the year? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But these two knives are a different genre. This is a working knife. This is a kitchen come slicey. If you require to do slicey cuts, this is the one for you. This is just a do-all everything knife, much like the Para 2 is. Blade steel is not as good, and it won't hold an edge for as long. But let me tell you, it holds an edge for blooming ages. 440C is a really good steel. It's a good all-round steel. So I don't make any bones about it. Now, here's a more modern Ganzo. And these are on the thing. These are about £23, £24, maybe £25 delivered, which is going to be about $30. So the same price as my QB. Is it any less than my QB? No, it definitely is not. Again, different genre, different style of knife. This is very thin behind the edge, but it has that beautiful drop point. And I know, like me, a lot of people like a good drop point. This is a good drop point. A high flat grind. Thin to the touch at the edge. Just lovely. This one is a liner lock, and I can show you it's locked up. I've had this since I came out. It is just a super little knife. Look at that. Takes nothing. Very much more modern, maybe, than this. But there's the size. The old Ganzo knives, the big olds, used to be all 8 1/4. As they've modernized, they brought them down to 8 inches. But there's that there, same sort of blade length, actually a wee bit longer in the blade length or the cutting edge on this one. But again, just a super knife. An absolutely super knife in D2 and under 30 quid. It's fantastic. So, I'll do reviews on these. If anybody really wants some more Ganzo reviews, I've got more down the caravan. The 3 that I'm going to show you, and this is the 3rd one. And this, to me, I mean, these 2 knives that I'm showing you now are the oldest sort of model. Well, this is a newer model because I bought and gave so many of these away. This has got the newer Firebird logo on it rather than just the Ganzo, if you can see there. This one still has the 440C on it, and this is the let me just get that up there. There we go. I can't see, I'm blind. This is the F759M. Now, this is a lookalike of the bird knives, the Delica. It's a hybrid of both of them. It has got the forward choil that the Delica doesn't have, which is why I've always liked it better. I don't have a Delica anymore. I still have these. This is just an apt. The Delica's VG10. This is 440C. Yes, the Delica might hold an edge a little bit better, might get a bit more refined, but 440C is a very refined steel. It's really good on this. Thin, full flat ground. This is a gorgeous little knife with the backlock, even got the Bowie dent. Pocket clip is absolutely fine. It acts and responds exactly the same as a Spyderco knife. This is between 10, 12, 13 pound. Depending, if you get them in sales, you'll get them for, I think I got this one when I got it for £9. So, and that's delivered. It's just, why would you spend £90 on a Delica when you can get 440 in this? This is a light use knife. You do not need a blade steel that's going to last you for 17 weeks, especially if you can sharpen. This is perfect. A strop at the end of the day with 440C usually brings it back to put it away in your drawer. A couple of swipes and a strop at the end of the day, depending on what work you're doing. But honestly, most of us, do we? No. We cut a box, we cut something in work, we open a lunch box, we can use it for doing anything. But there you go. That's another one. If you want a review, let me know and we'll go back. For those, because I'm sure there's plenty on my channel who have never used Ganzos. But just to put this with a Para 3 again, I've got a medium large hand. If you're bigger than a large hand, I highly recommend this, which you would do for a PM2. But to me, this is not as big. So my hand is more comfortable in this. Even my large hand, it's more comfortable. And you've got the forward choil up there, which gives you even more room if you've got a large hand. And I think this is just positioned perfectly. I think the forward choil, everything about it is just fantastic. Would I recommend you doing it? Recommend you now, getting over it, because I don't know how long they're going to be there for. There's 4 different colours. It used to come only in the black and green G10. It now has an orange G10 and it has their grey-blue G10, which I'm going to order for myself because I'm so glad they're in and I want to have 2. Super knives. So there you go. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. There's the star of the show, the Ganzo G729. It's on AliExpress at the minute. Get over there and order. And I'm not getting paid for this. I just want people to realise that Ganzo have been a good knife for years. And yes, we've all moved on to Kubis and that. But these are usually cheaper. And look, I've been using them for 5 years. I love them and recommend them with all my heart. Genuinely a great buy. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that little review. I shall see you very soon for another wee video. Take care, folks. Paddy's away. Bye-bye now.